A major political reversal is sending shock waves through Westminster today after months of controversy and mounting pressure. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has just made a decision that few saw coming, one that could have huge consequences for millions of pensioners this winter. What changed and why now? But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more on a move that sent universal winter fuel payments shock waves through Westminster and households across the UK. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has performed a major U-turn on one of his government's most controversial early policies, the scrapping of universal winter fuel payments. Millions of pensioners who face uncertainty over how they would heat their homes this winter have just been handed a lifeline in a significant reversal. The Labour government has announced that eligibility for the winter fuel payment will be expanded under the new rules. Everyone over the state pension age in England and Wales with an income of £35,000 or less will now qualify for the payment, a major shift from the earlier plan that had restricted help only to pensioners on pension credit. This change will bring crucial certainty to millions, offering much-needed support to lower and middle-income retirees ahead of what is expected to be another harsh winter. The Chancellor confirmed that around 9 million pensioners, over three-quarters of the total pensioner population in England and Wales, will now benefit from the revised policy. The support, worth £200 per household and £300 for those aged 80 or over, will be paid automatically later this year. Pensioners will not need to apply, with payments set to arrive just as energy bills begin to spike during the colder months. However, there's a catch for those pensioners earning above the £35,000 threshold. They will still receive the winter fuel payment initially, but the money will be recovered later via HMRC through either pay or a self-assessment return for pensioners who prefer not to receive the money at all and avoid the recovery process. An opt-out option will be made available, with details on how to decline the payment expected to follow shortly. A spokesperson from the Treasury defended the updated policy, stating, "This change gives people certainty and ensures payments can be made in time for this winter. Payments will be better targeted than before, ensuring those on lower and middle incomes get the help they need while making the system fairer and more efficient to qualify for the winter fuel payment under the new scheme. Individuals must have reached the state pension age by the week starting September 15 of this year. Meanwhile, Scotland and Northern Ireland will each receive additional funding, allowing devolved administrations to align with the new threshold and ensure pensioners nationwide aren't left out. It's a big means testing shift, not only reversing Labour's earlier approach, but introducing means testing to what was once a universal benefit. The Treasury argues that this will create a fairer system, offering assistance to those who genuinely need it while reducing the strain on public finances. Labour's Chancellor Rachel Reeves defended the decision, saying, "Targeting winter fuel payments was a tough decision, but the right decision because of the financial mess we inherited from the previous government. It's also right that we continue to means test this payment so that it's targeted and fair rather than restoring eligibility to the wealthiest pensioners. But we have now acted to expand eligibility to ensure that no pensioner on a lower income will miss out on the help they need." According to the Treasury, the new £35,000 income threshold sits well above the poverty line and is broadly aligned with average earnings, striking what officials describe as a balance between generosity and fiscal responsibility. The expanded winter fuel total cost payments are projected to cost £1.25 billion in England and Wales alone. However, by means testing the payments, the Treasury expects to claw back approximately £450 million, subject to final figures confirmed by the Office for Budget Responsibility (OBR). Importantly, officials stressed that this move would not lead to permanent additional borrowing. The cost will be accounted for at the next budget and incorporated into the next OBR forecast, with the Chancellor expected to make broader funding decisions to ensure the government's fiscal rules are still met. Context for context, Labour's original decision to drastically limit the winter fuel payment, one of their first major acts in government, was aimed at closing a £22 billion gap in the public finances, a black hole left by the previous Conservative administration. The initial move slashed the number of pensioners receiving the benefit from 11.4 million down to just 1.5 million, triggering triple lock, widespread anger and deep political backlash. The outrage culminated in Labour's poor showing at the local elections, prompting Starmer to announce a partial reversal last month. Today's announcement goes even further, with a broader expansion aimed at heading off further political damage. Adding to the broader support for pensioners, Labour confirmed that over 12 million pensioners across the UK will also benefit from the triple lock, meaning the state pension is set to rise by up to 1,900 during this parliament, a move the government insists will protect pensioners from rising living costs, but opposition critics aren't letting Starmer off the hook easily. Kem Bardino, leader of the opposition, slammed the Prime Minister's handling of the situation, stating, "I repeatedly challenged him to reverse his callous decision to withdraw winter fuel payments, and every time Starmer arrogantly dismissed my criticisms, this humiliating U-turn will come as scant comfort to the pensioners forced to choose between heating and eating last winter. The Prime Minister should now apologize for his terrible judgment." Despite the political noise, the government has moved quickly to reassure pensioners. Officials emphasize that no action will be required to either receive or repay the winter fuel payment, with the entire process being handled automatically through existing HMRC systems. This latest development marks a significant shift in how pensioner benefits are handled in the UK, moving away from universal handouts towards more targeted means aid support, but it also exposes the government to criticism that it misjudged the political and social consequences of its original decision. As winter looms, the stakes could not be higher for Labour and for millions of pensioners who now at least have a little more certainty that they won't be left in the cold. In other news, Nigel Farage has called to reopen the Port Talbot steelworks today in a major campaign pitch to Welsh voters ahead of the 2026 Senate elections. The Reform UK leader, speaking from South Wales, laid out his plans to bring traditional steel making back to British shores, having already put his party's weight behind saving British steel in Scunthorpe earlier this year. Farage again backed domestic industry in a drive to end Labour's 123 years of electoral success in Wales. Before his address, a party source talked up how he will tap into the hearts and minds of a deeply patriotic nation that feels betrayed and forgotten about by Labour. Then in Port Talbot, Farage laid down the gauntlet to the failing Welsh Labour. "Our aim is very simple. Our aim is to win. Our aim is to win a majority, and our aim as a party is to govern in Wales," he said, "and I believe that it is achievable." Farage also predicted that Plaid Cymru would only do well in its heartlands while the Tories are dying and pretty close to an extinction event. "Labour really are failing in Wales," he added. "I believe we can win, and I believe actually if we get this right we will win next May." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.